Hello and welcome to the Political Classroom, where we explore ideas and concepts in politics, philosophy, and international relations. In today's video, we'll be discussing the concept of Plato's ideal state and its relevance in the modern world. Plato, one of the most influential philosophers in the history of Western thought, was born in Athens in the 5th century BCE. He was a student of Socrates and went on to establish his own school, the Academy, which became one of the most prestigious institutions of learning in the ancient world. Plato wrote extensively on a range of topics, including ethics, politics, and metaphysics. But perhaps his most enduring contribution is his theory of the ideal state, which we'll explore in this video. One of Plato's most famous works, The Republic, outlines his views on government, justice, and the nature of the human soul. In it, he proposes the idea of an ideal state, which is ruled by philosopher kings who have gained knowledge and wisdom through reason and education. According to Plato, an ideal state was one where everyone had a specific role to play, based on their natural abilities and talents. The state was divided into three classes: the ruling class, the auxiliary class, and the artisan class. Each class had its own role and responsibilities, and everyone worked together to create a harmonious society. The ruling class, or the philosopher kings, were the most important class in the state. They were responsible for making decisions and ensuring that the state was functioning properly. Plato believed that these rulers should be wise, knowledgeable, and selfless, and that they should only be interested in the well-being of the state and its citizens. The auxiliary class was made up of soldiers and other officials who assisted the philosopher kings in governing the state. They were responsible for maintaining law and order, defending the state, and carrying out the decisions of the rulers. Finally, the artisan class was made up of craftsmen, merchants, and other workers who produced goods and services for the state. They were responsible for meeting the basic needs of the citizens and contributing to the overall prosperity of the state. Plato believed that an ideal state would be a just state, where everyone knew their place and worked together for the common good. Plato believed that just as there could be an ideal state, there could also be an ideal man. According to him, the ideal man would be one who had achieved perfect harmony between the three elements of his soul: reason, spirit, and desire. In other words, the ideal man would be one who used his reason to control his desires and channel his spirit towards virtue. Plato's analogy of the ideal man was used to illustrate the concept of the ideal state. He argued that just as the ideal man had achieved harmony between the three elements of his soul, the ideal state would be one in which there was perfect harmony between the three classes of people: the rulers, the warriors, and the commoners. The rulers would use their reason to make wise decisions. The warriors would use their spirit to protect the state, and the commoners would use their desire to carry out the duties and contribute to the well-being of the state. Plato believed that just as the ideal man was rare, so too was the ideal state. However, he believed that by striving towards the ideal state, societies could achieve greater justice and prosperity for all their citizens. He believed that this was the best form of government, and that it would lead to a peaceful and prosperous society. Plato's ideal state also includes his vision of education, which he saw as crucial to shaping the perfect society. According to Plato, education is not just about acquiring knowledge or skills, but also about developing a person's character and virtue. He believed that the purpose of education is to cultivate wisdom, morality, and a sense of responsibility in individuals, so that they can become good citizens and leaders. Plato's educational system was hierarchical, and based on the principle of specialization. Children would be sorted at a young age and sent to different types of schools, depending on their abilities and interests. The most capable students would be trained in philosophy and become the rulers of the state, while others would be trained in crafts, agriculture, or other professions. Another important aspect of Plato's ideal state is his belief in communism. He believed that private property leads to greed and selfishness, which are harmful to the community as a whole. Therefore, he proposed that all property should be owned collectively by the state, and that individuals should only be allowed to possess what they need for their basic needs. In this way, everyone would have equal access to resources and wealth would be distributed fairly. But what relevance does this concept have in the modern world? Well, Plato's idea of an ideal state has been influential in modern political thought, with many philosophers and political thinkers building on his ideas. For example, the concept of a meritocratic system, where individuals are placed in positions of power based on their abilities, is based on Plato's idea of the philosopher kings. Plato's ideas about the ideal state and education system have had a lasting impact on political philosophy, and continue to be studied and debated today. Many modern political thinkers have drawn inspiration from his ideas, including John Rawls, who developed the concept of a veil of ignorance in his theory of justice, which is similar to Plato's idea of sorting individuals based on their abilities and interests. Additionally, some contemporary scholars have criticized Plato's ideas about communism, arguing that it would lead to inefficiency and a lack of motivation among individuals. Additionally, Plato's idea of a just state has been influential in discussions about social justice and equality. Many modern political movements and thinkers aim to create a more just society, where everyone has access to the same opportunities and rights. Therefore, Plato's concept of an ideal state may have been developed over 2,000 years ago, but it continues to be relevant in the modern world. His ideas about a just and harmonious society, where everyone has a specific role to play, have influenced modern political thought and continue to inspire new ideas and movements. That's it for today's video. If you found this video informative, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos on politics, philosophy, and international relations. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.